I was staying in New York at the time in an almost deserted downtown factory.
And I thought you were ready to give up.
My Yes, how is it going, everybody? Sean Cannell here. We're gonna be getting started in just a minute for Grow with Video, this live training. Super pumped about it, and I'm gonna be talking about a lot of cool stuff. But let me know if you can hear me loud and clear, where you're watching from. We're about to get started. Just want to give a few shout outs here. I see Sunshine VK. Good to see you. Let's crush it. What's up, Roscoe? I see some questions coming in. What's up, Nick? What's up, Jennifer? Let me know where you're watching from. And hey, if you want to spread the word on social, definitely use the hashtag #GrowWithVideo. And let me know in the Facebook comments embedded on this page where you're watching from. And we're going to get started in just a second. Yes. Hey, here we are, man. Welcome. Grow with Video. We're here live for a YouTube training, and I'm super pumped. I hope you're pumped. I see people are already jumping on. We're going to dive in this training right now. I don't want to waste your time. We've got a lot of content to jump into. Super excited about it. And so, but hey, if you're just joining or you're watching on the replay, where are you watching from? Let me know. And post that in the comments below. Now, I see that you might be watching on the YouTube page, and I see you, Melissa. I see you, Kimmy, Mary, Julio, Panama, Julio watching right now. Texas, Drawn Out Beats, Kimmy. Yeah, we're live. I can see you guys. And let's see, over on the other page, if you're on the watch page, let me know about where you're watching from there as well. And if you have any questions in either place, I see Gwen in Long Beach. I see Erwin from Honolulu, Hawaii. And Martin, what's up? Jeff in Ohio, what is up? Michael, Tampa, Florida. Man, so many people. Thanks so much for being here live. Or if you couldn't make it live, we have a super limited replay. So thanks for being here. And my name's Sean, if we're just meeting, and my passion is help people build their influence, income, and impact with online video and YouTube. And we're going to be talking about that today on this training. So let's definitely dive into it. And we'll get straight to work. 3 secrets for growing your audience and income with YouTube this year. Spread the word on social. And if you're on the watch page, there's a click to tweet button. I would love it if you sent a tweet out. And if you're somewhere else, maybe let somebody know that wants to grow with video. Maybe you have a friend, creator, or entrepreneur, or somebody that's trying to figure out this video thing. Spread the word on social. And again, if we're just meeting, my name's Sean Cannell, and this is the mission that I'm on right now, is to help you build your influence, income, and impact with YouTube and online video. And today we're going to be diving into some strategic content. So definitely get ready to take notes, maybe pull out a journal, pull out something to write with, shut down distractions. You know, there's something so powerful, especially in a social media age, where we take some time to really focus on leveling up our learning, leveling up ourselves, getting new insights, strategies, and tactics so that we can go further faster with whatever it is that we want to build. And so definitely take some notes. In fact, we actually are going to have some details at the end of the training about a chance to win a 30-minute coaching call with me one-on-one. Now, typically I'm charging anywhere from $500 to $1,000 an hour for coaching with companies and brands and influencers. And it's going to kind of be connected to just taking a screenshot or a picture of your notes. So definitely take some good notes. That's going to be part of how you would enter to win one of 2 coaching calls that we're going to be giving away. Now, let me know, why are you here? Why are you here? Why did you show up tonight, or whether on the replay? why did you show up? Cuban Beauty asks, is this live? Yes, it is live. Or maybe it's on the replay, but I would love to know why you're here and what you hope to get out of this training. I'll refresh over here on the page, look at some of your comments, but let me know kind of like what you hope to get out of this training. Let's see. Jashrandria says, I want to build a lifestyle based upon my own terms. Kat says, I want to get serious about growing my channel, but I get overwhelmed with where to start. That's great reasons. Drawn Out Beat says, I want to grow my animation channel. Andrew says, I'm here so I can make side income with my job. Bridge Path says, I want to share video, but I'm not sure where to start or stay focused. These are awesome reasons to be here. And I would say you're really in the right place, because, you know, this workshop's not for everybody, but it is for you if you have a YouTube channel already, or maybe you don't have one yet, but you want to start one the right way. Maybe you're already a video creator, you consider yourself a YouTuber, or maybe you're like an online marketer or a personal brand, a speaker, author, or a coach, or a business owner. This would be relevant. If you would fall into any of those categories, then this workshop is absolutely for you. And specifically what we're going to cover today is 5 ways to generate a full-time income with YouTube, 3 fatal mistakes people make on YouTube and how to fix them, the best strategies for getting views and subscribers in 2018, and a lot more. So let's dive into it. Plus, there's also going to be Ask Me Anything at the end of the workshop. So post in the Facebook comments that are embedded on the page, or you can tweet me at Sean Cannell. Always use the hashtag #GrowWithVideo. And it helps us too if you put like 4 question marks in front and after your question, maybe you're in the YouTube live chat or on Facebook. Then we just know it's a question as opposed to just a response, that you have a specific question. And Heather on my team is capturing your questions, so we'll get to those in a bit. Plus, at the end of the training, I'm going to show you how to get access to some advanced training beyond this, as well as some time-saving tools and resources. But let's dive in. Why YouTube and why now? Like, why is this such a big deal? And you're here, you might know me from probably one of 2 channels, either Think Media or Video Influencers. And I've been doing this channel, Video Influencers, with a business partner named Benji for a while now. So it kind of has given me a unique perspective, because we've had the chance to interview well over 100 entrepreneurs and YouTubers who are building their influence and income with online video. Plus, I speak at conferences nationally and internationally in the online marketing and social media space. I study the news. I do this as my full-time job and career, really, right? And so I kind of have a unique perspective into this world of what we've been calling lately videopreneurs, like entrepreneurs who are making a living with video. And it's really crazy kind of what's been happening. And what I feel like we've been discovering is this secret society of videopreneurs. And here's what I mean. CNBC wrote this recently about Katrina Garcia, who's known as the internet's slime queen. And in less than 3 years, as a 23-year-old, she turned her one-time hobby, posting DIY slime videos on YouTube, into a full-time career. And she's gone from waitressing to making millions. Super cool, right? And, you know, a story like this, though, it just sounds extraordinary. Like, yeah, sure, that'll happen once in a blue moon. But like, that's just totally an outlier. It's random. But here's what's crazy about this secret society. And there's a few other articles. One is from 2012, and this was a report from Google that actually announced that thousands of YouTube partners were now making 6 figures a year. And that was in 2012, right? And so recently this year on the creator blog, YouTube wrote, more creators than ever are earning a living on YouTube, with the number of channels making over 6 figures up 40% year over year. So that means that tens of thousands of individuals are earning over 6 figures on YouTube. The point is, it's not some rare, random, like, that never happens. Like, it's becoming mainstream. It's becoming like a real kind of, you know, thing that you're seeing. It's not like if, like, maybe this will happen or maybe this could be happening. No, it is happening. You know what I mean? Like this is actually, we're living through this right now. And the YouTube income breakdown's kind of like this, right? And, you know, you've got like Katrina. There's some people who are generating 7 figures. And so from our research, that's thousands and thousands of creators. Tens of thousands are generating 6 figures on YouTube. And that also then means really hundreds of thousands are generating 5 figures. And that could be anything. That could be $80K a year. It could be $35,000 a year, or it could just be like an extra $10,000 that you're doing what you love. You've got some other things you're doing, or you don't need to work, maybe you're stay at home or whatever. And you just want to like really take your passion, put it online and generate some income from it. Like this is a real thing that is happening. And here's what's crazy is all of those stats, like what YouTube is announcing about Katrina or what it was announcing about creators earning over 6 figures is actually just based on YouTube ads. So that means, because that's what they can see. YouTube can see that if someone puts ads on their videos, they're earning this much revenue. So what's insane to me is that even in our own business, YouTube ads are usually something like 10 or less % of our overall income, 10 or less %. So what does that mean if someone's generating 6 figures, but ads is only 10% of their income? You do the math. And so again, the point here is that it's really this crazy online video revolution happening. So what happens when you start generating multiple streams of income off of that same influence? What happens is you don't need 1 million subscribers. You don't need 100,000. Even with a small targeted audience, you can really turn this into a practical way of building influence and income online. This is my friend Alejandro. They have a vlog channel and we did a video with him over on Video Influencers. And, again, some good numbers. Like he has 35,000 subscribers, but I think we're used to 1 million, 10 million, 100,000. And we think like that's what it takes to like barely make it and just pay the bills. But he talked about in his interview, him and his family, they generated 6 figures in 1 year, not from YouTube ads, but from other income streams, just online, off of, again, a relatively small audience, right? This is like becoming more and more common. And it's really this online video revolution. So I'm so glad you're here. And if you can see these slides and you can hear my voice, and if you can see me right now, I think it's imperative that really no matter what you do with this information, that we all really recognize that this is a moment in history, like that something very special is happening, and that we should maximize that for what we can do for ourselves, our families, but also for the difference that we can make in the world, because there really is an online video revolution taking place. And so we looked at some of the financials. Let's just touch on some of the stats as far as, how powerful YouTube is and why now and why YouTube is so important. YouTube is healthy and growing. There's over 1.5 billion monthly logged in users watching over an hour of mobile video a day is what this article talks about. So there's a ton of attention there. If you're wondering, is my target audience there? Yeah, they are. 1.5 billion is a lot of people. Well, Sean, the competition is so high. Yeah, that's a lot of people though. And if you position yourself and figure out your difference, you can really maximize your results. Second, YouTube is getting more and more mainstream credibility. And so this stat says that during primetime hours on an average day in the US, more 18 to 49-year-olds visit YouTube than any TV network, even on mobile alone. So YouTube is, especially amongst millennials and even on both sides of the generations, is actually taking up more attention than TV networks, than cable, right? It's growing. And so it's getting more and more mainstream credibility. But YouTube is someplace that you can build your influence. Like, go try to start a cable show, right? Like, you're gonna need $500,000, a whole set, a whole crew, and people aren't even paying as much attention as they once were. But yet YouTube is not only mainstream, we all have access to it. It's also international. YouTube has launched local versions in more than 88 countries, and you can navigate YouTube in a total of 76 different languages, covering 95% of the internet population. So it doesn't matter where you are in the world, this online video revolution is touching the 4 corners of the earth. And YouTube continues to innovate, which is important when you see the rise and fall of Instagram or Snapchat or other platforms, right? YouTube is continuing to stay relevant, to fight for their market share and all these types of things. And they're doing new YouTube updates, whether that's YouTube TV, which is now replacing cable and DirecTV, or like new community tab posts or cards and all these different things. They continue to stay relevant. The 5th stat is YouTube is the 2nd largest website and search engine in the world, second to Google, and Google owns YouTube. So YouTube offers distinct discoverability possibilities, ways to get discovered, ways to get noticed, especially even if you're just starting from scratch, that other platforms don't really offer. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, these aren't search engines. So it can be challenging to build your brand and build your influence there. But YouTube is a search engine. It's the second largest search engine in the world. So there's massive opportunity to build and to get discovered on YouTube. Plus, YouTube is free, right? Like, what are we talking about? The fact that you can upload unlimited 4K content, unlimited HD content. You can use all the features, the monetization built in, like they're not billing you, right? And you can just step out, start using this platform. All you need is a smartphone and you are good to go and get started on posting content on YouTube. And so there's really kind of like no excuses, but I a lot of times hear from you guys in the community, different people, I hear different like thoughts, like questions. People ask these questions. Things like, okay, well, is YouTube too crowded? Like, is it too late to start? Maybe you've heard some of these. In fact, let me know in the comments if you've heard any of these myths or potential limitations that people might say. The reality is we're going to bust them one by one. Is YouTube isn't too crowded. There's 1.5 billion plus users on it. Like, it's just a matter of figuring out your difference and how you can stand out. Well, what about money? It's going to be hard to invest money, like a cable show. Well, no, all you need is YouTube and your smartphone, right? I see Cuban Berry saying, yeah, these are very popular myths. Talent. What's interesting about YouTube is it's not like the NBA. It's not like Hollywood. I mean, you do need to like work on your craft. But the cool thing about YouTube, and I'm sure you've watched people, they don't necessarily have the looks of a superstar or the charisma of a superstar. But what do they have? They have authenticity and value. If they just add valuable content and they, deliver that value, authenticity and value is what wins on YouTube, hands down, right? So that's a myth. Time, how much, I'm going to need 80 hours a week to make this a real thing and to build it. It honestly only takes a few hours a week if you are using your time wisely and you're working smarter and not just harder. And someone took my ideas like, oh, it's too late. Someone's already in my niche. Have you ever thought that one? The reality is, honestly, if someone is actually creating content like yours and even has a style of videos like yours, it honestly proves there's a market. When Starbucks started, were they the only people who ever made coffee? Of course not, right? Like, there was thousands of coffee retailers around the world, but they brought something unique to the marketplace. And the reality is people love coffee. The fact that there's 1.5 billion people watching YouTube, the fact that maybe people are watching other types of content that's like yours, again, it's like, cool, people are interested in this thing. So I'm going to come at it from a different angle and you can get noticed. And so honestly, let's just acknowledge these for what they are. They are excuses. They're myths. They're limitations. They're not true. And if you take massive action, you can get massive results, acknowledging the fact that YouTube is one of the best places to build your influence and income online, period. And so with that, I know we've been diving straight into some content, but I do want to give you a little bit of a backstory in case we're just meeting. And it's this. In October 2015, this illustrates to me the power of this online video revolution. So just a few years ago, I was freelancing full time. So here's me, I'm at LAX in Los Angeles, bringing a bunch of gear with me. And what I was doing at the time was I had 3 major clients. And so I was doing YouTube management, YouTube strategy, video production. I was full-time freelancing. Now, I've been on YouTube a lot of years, but I was building it up on the side. We're doing YouTube, we're doing some affiliate marketing. We're generating a few hundred, even maybe at over 1,000 at times, closer to 2,000 during like maybe the holidays. And so it's a side income. It's cool, but we were dependent upon, these freelance clients. And I won't ever forget this time because of what happened next. And that was when I got this. Now, I actually didn't get a letter. Everything happens digitally these days, right? But what happened was the first week in October, a client calls me, hey, Sean. So, it's been great working with you, but we're restructuring our staff a little bit and doing some other things. We got to let you go. Shoot, we only have 3 clients. Okay, whatever. Still got 2 more. Thank you. Great working with you too. Click. Guess what happened in the second week in October? Bring! Hey, what's up, Sean? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You're fired. Okay, great. Shoot. Now I'm getting a little discouraged, a little nervous. Week 3, God is my witness. Ring. Hey, Sean, we got to let you go. Boom. My wife and I lost 80 to 90% of our income in 1 month's time. And I was losing my mind. In fact, you know, one of my business mentors, David, I called him and I was like, dude, okay, I'm super worried. I'm super stressed. You know, what's happening? And he would tell you, like, it's daunting. Maybe you can relate, like getting laid off, losing a job, or having a massive blow to your income. It could be super discouraging. And I really kind of went into a dark couple of weeks. You know, I'm thinking questions like, how are we going to make it? Do I have what it takes? You know, I'm feeling like a failure because, you know, they gave some reasons for why they let me go, but I'm kind of like, shoot, man, why, you know, what's wrong with me? Or is my work not good enough? All these types of questions, right? Plus, we're dealing with like health challenges in our family and chronic illness in our family. We had moved for jobs, so we weren't close to our support system of friends and family. We have all this financial pressure. It was super, super intense. And during this time, the good news was that we were earning side income from video. And if I was just to take a pause here, I'm so glad, because while it was only a few hundred or maybe around over $1,000 a month, why I'm so glad that, why it was such a hard time, I'm so glad that I was building a side hustle like before I needed it. One of the biggest things you could be doing is working on your dream job while you got a day job, working on your side hustle because you just never know what's going to come your way. And so even if you never wanted to go all in and do this full time, it's always smart to diversify your income sources to create additional streams of income, whatever. And so I was earning side income, but the bad news was, you know, we really only had 16,000 subscribers and it was not near enough. You know, when that freelance work disappeared, it was like, okay, we're not even close, at least to paying our bills, you know, this next month. Luckily, you know, we had about 6 months of savings. So what I knew was like, okay, like how long can we last at this? And so 16,000, again, pretty good subscribers, but October 2015, we had around that, you know, that much income. So I'm faced with this choice. Do I look for a day job? Do I pursue more freelance clients? Or do I punch fear in the face and step out as an entrepreneur? And so I went all in. Now it's about November 1st. You know, the clients are gone and it was on my channel, Think Media. And so Think Media, around 16,000 subscribers. And from this point, I just start to grind, right? I'm like, okay, it's like kind of all or nothing. We have 6 months until we go bankrupt. Let's just go for this, you know? And so there was really two big lessons that I kind of learned. And the first one was good things come to those who wait. No, of course, you can see it up on the screen. You don't want to sit around and wait for things to happen. You know, hope is not a strategy. Good things come to those who hustle. You got to put in the work. And so when I kind of saw like, and I was under that pressure too, I was like, man, this is, let's see if this works. I'm going all in. I put in the work, started to hustle, started posting videos, just focus, you know, blinders on. Think about maybe what can you potentially, what's non-essential right now for you that you can maybe move to the side to build your dream, to work on your dream, right? But the problem with this is that for sure, hard work is not enough, right? And what I mean is there's so many gurus out there right now and people that are just like, hustle, hustle, hustle is the key to success. Hustle, all you need to do is hustle. That's not true. You do need to put in the work, but it's not enough. There's plenty of people, and maybe you can relate to this. Like, you're like, I'm working my eyes off, bro. Like, sis, I am working hard. That doesn't mean you're necessarily getting results. And so while hard work is an essential ingredient, you have to be doing smart work. And the key there is strategy. So if there's really two things, it was the combination of hard work, but also strategy that I began to deploy over the next couple months. And to be honest, I had a huge advantage because I had been testing YouTube strategies for my clients. I had been doing so much YouTube work, just not on my personal stuff. And so now it was time to see if it would work for me, right? And so just a few months later, as of January really 1st, you can see that 2016, 1-1, we had grown by about 4,000 subscribers, 20,000 subscribers, but we had already replaced that income. So at that point, we were full-time with a relatively small audience in a couple of months. Why? Because of going all in, right? All in, and not just working hard though, but also working smart. And since then, it's just been like a rocket ship. And some of you have been on the journey, right? You've watched what's happened from October 2015 and getting laid off and fired by 3 clients. We've recently crossed 500,000 subscribers on YouTube in a pretty short time. And you could see how this growth curve happened here, this kind of explosion. And that's why you're on this masterclass. That's why you're on this training, right? Because it's all about how to grow with video. How do you get those results? And what's crazy is that all of this has led to opportunities that I used to only dream about, whether doing like press and media and radio. We got listed in Forbes in the top 20 YouTube channels that will help your business grow, you know, speaking on stages nationally and internationally, getting to connect with, interview, and work with, and share the stage with some of the best and brightest online influencers and entrepreneurs on the planet. And we've been building a team now out in Las Vegas. We have a media company, you know, is what we call it in Las Vegas. The team is growing, and that's where I'm streaming to you from right now. We crashed through the 6-figure per year mark, now then the 7-figure per year barrier. And so it's been this massive explosion. And of course, you always hear me talk about helping you build your influence and your income. But so that, why? Like, why? So that you can make a greater impact. And, you know, to us, that kind of means different things to different people. But to us, that also is so that we can make a difference, right? And so our company has partnered with Compassion International, and we're able to give a portion of our revenue to fight hunger and poverty through sponsoring children monthly. And additionally, it's also led to kind of building a business around a lifestyle, right? That allows me to do what I want, when I want, where I want, with the people that matter most to me. And, you know, spending time traveling or spending time with family and friends and being able to focus on those things, you know, that matter most, right? And I actually have heard it said that being rich is having money, but being wealthy is having time. And so I think that part of this, right, is not just the income piece, but it's financial freedom. It's freedom, right? It's freedom to build a business around a lifestyle and your creativity, but to also have freedom. Well, what's the point? The point is that video has changed my life so dramatically. And we started off looking at how it's changing so many people's lives, you know, that are building full-time careers and 6-figure and 7-figure incomes, or anything in the 5-figure mark. It's massively powerful. And this masterclass is not about me, it's about you. And it's about you taking advantage of this online video revolution. And part of our mission here at Team Cannell is we're on a mission to help 10,000 people make a full-time living and a difference in the world by doing what they love with online video, and to really go all in and take advantage of this online video revolution, right? You've heard the stats, you've seen the numbers. This isn't, if this is about to happen, this is happening right now, and it's time to go all in. So let's dive into the training. And the first thing that we got to talk about is, how do these videopreneurs make money? I think this will be very valuable for you and provide a lot of clarity for your own path of your journey. I would say that I would probably argue, if you're watching this, you're a videopreneur. Like, you are someone who's aspiring to be an entrepreneur, leveraging video to grow your influence and income, a videopreneur, right? But what are the paths for like generating income and making money in this industry? And there's really 5 paths that I've identified. And so whether you're maybe a business owner, or you're just starting, or you're further along, you know, if you're wanting to be a doctor, or you're wanting to be, you know, a surgeon or an engineer, you got to go to college. And the path has been set for that. But what's interesting is that in this online video space, no one's really defined the path. So this is kind of my attempt, especially having been in this industry now really since 2003, to kind of look at these different paths. And I want to hear from you in the comments, which path are you on? You know, which of these do you relate to the most? So the first path of generating income would be being like a YouTuber or a social media influencer. So maybe PewDiePie, he's the most subscribed to YouTube channel. My friend Judy originally started out doing beauty videos. It's Judy time. She's a YouTuber, right? Casey Neistat, you maybe have heard of him. Liza Koshy, MKBHD is a tech YouTuber. These are like personal brands, entertainers. You know, Liza is a comedian, or full-time content creators. Maybe you're on this path. You know, which path are you on? You want to be a YouTuber, you want to be a social media influencer, and this is what you're going after. The second path is the video producer freelancer. Again, these are paths of generating a full-time income. And these are examples of people doing video full-time, but not necessarily in ways that we would all think. Because the full-time video producer freelancer, this is Jabin. He's a part of our courses and community. This is Unicorn Film Factory. Jesse right there. That's Omar, and he's got a YouTube channel. But Omar, he does some contract work for us, helps with our team, but he also does weddings. He does different video productions. He's actually shooting for a show on the Las Vegas Strip right now, all week long. And so these are people, right, that are freelancers. What's cool is that if you master the skills in this industry, you're highly valuable. And there's a lot of people that'll pay you good money for video help, for photography, but also for the marketing that comes along with the whole video industry. So that's the freelancer path. Video production, maybe you start an agency. Then there's the business leader path. And maybe you recognize this person. It's Gary Vaynerchuk, a New York Times bestselling author, but he runs a company called VaynerMedia with 700 employees in New York. And he's a big YouTuber, but he wouldn't call himself a YouTuber. And maybe you can relate to this path. You're a business leader that is a smart business leader, because you're like, dude, video is legit, man. I need to learn video. This is Steve Panette. He is a real estate agent. I'm doing a lot of Facebook video, YouTube video. This is Slyfax family, and that's Andrew. They have a merch line, an apparel line. And here's what's interesting is these 5 paths can really blur together because they are actually big vloggers, but their merch line with like these kind of cool kids and like family branded merch, their merch line was first. It was pre-existing. And then they thought, okay, what if we start YouTube? And they started a vlog channel, and we just like put out entertaining, family, behind the scene, kind of content. But then we also use that to grow our merch line, our business line that they'd already been growing. So these are people who are creatively leveraging YouTube to grow another business, right? The business leader path. This is Tulin. She does network marketing, and she's been with Beachbody in the past and is using her YouTube channel to promote her network marketing business and just crushing it, right? So you're using video to grow an existing business. That's path number 3. And let me know which path you relate to the most. We still have 2 more, right? Path number 4 is the video and social media marketer path. So this is Heather. She's in the comments right now. She's, if you see any replies, that's coming from her. So she's helping, or she's full-time. She's our operations officer on our team, but she is like a Facebook ads, kind of like a paid traffic, learning how to do paid ads. And last year she had an agency. So she was working with like local, real estate agents or even casinos. We live in Vegas, or hotels and resorts, different things. And so it's that video social media. That's Billie Jean. This is Jeremy Vest, just started working with vidIQ. And so this may be a content strategist doing paid traffic. You're a marketing freelancer, so maybe you're helping somebody with YouTube, helping them optimize their videos and titles, the back end, a marketing agency, or you work in the online video industry, right? And so that would be path number 4. And then number 5 is the expert author, coach, speaker path. So this is Chalene Johnson, pretty well-known fitness celebrity, best-selling author, but also social media strategist. Of course, Tony Robbins, Bishop T.D. Jakes, best-selling author of over 30 books and a pastor of the Potter's House in Dallas. This is Kimber Luna. She was a 29-year-old who went from living on welfare to starting a business that earns nearly $1 million in its first year. And she does coaching and online programs and personal branding. So these would be people, right, who again wouldn't necessarily say I'm a YouTuber. And I'm so glad you're here, because I think that these paths, I hope they provide clarity and maybe show you that so much is possible if you dive into this industry, but it might not be how you thought it was going to look. And these would be people who are leveraging video marketing and content marketing to grow book sales, coaching, live events, and digital product sales, things like that. And again, would probably not call themselves YouTubers, although they are all leveraging online video and YouTube in strategic ways. And so what path are you on? What path do you resonate the most with? Definitely let me know. Joe says number 5. So that's awesome. Joe, Creative Pro Shop says, I'm somewhere between 1 and 5. Sam's like, what are the first 3? Okay, so if you came later, you'll be able to catch out the limited replay. And so I see that, you're probably resonating these different paths. Drawn Out Beats says number 1, definitely. Bridge Path says I fit into number 5. So that's awesome. And here's the point, Video is one of the most valuable skills to master in this new economy. That's kind of what I really want you to see, is that no matter, like, if you start building your YouTube channel, you start doing this stuff, you might crush it. You could blow up. You could do a lot of things. But honestly, like, when you just learn the skills in this industry, a whole world of possibility opens, because these are like the modern skills that are becoming so highly valuable. Tagging videos, online marketing, messaging, of having, being able to communicate online through audio, video, written word, all of these skills, paid traffic. These are the kind of things that are some of the most valuable skills in the new economy with the way the world is changing during this online video revolution. So far, quick recap. We've covered why now is the time to go all in with YouTube. And we've talked about 5 different ways of generating a full-time income with YouTube, 5 different paths that could get you to that place of making a living off of video. So now let's get into 3 fatal YouTube mistakes. These are 3 fatal YouTube mistakes that really could be destroying your growth. They really can be very, very harmful. But when we fix them, you could see massive results. And mistake number 1 is a lack of clarity, And here's the quote: if you try and reach everybody, you will end up reaching nobody. So when it comes to building your influence on YouTube, I've got 3 clarity power questions for you. And that's this: who's your target audience? Who are you trying to reach on YouTube? A good sign that you've got some work to do is if you don't have good answers for these questions. These are like the foundation of success on YouTube, like the foundation of taking a strategic, thoughtful approach to growth. So who's your target audience? Like, who you're trying to reach? And the answer can't be everybody, because it doesn't work. If you try and reach everybody, you'll end up reaching nobody. What is your value proposition to them is the second question. And basically that means, what kind of content are you posting and how often? So if I know I am trying to reach people who are interested in video, therefore my target audience is not people who are interested in learning how to cook better. I'm not gonna be able to help you there. My target audience is not people who are interested in learning how to get the biceps, because I don't got the biceps. So I'm not gonna be able to help to get you that result. But if you are interested in learning how to do video, man, you heard my story, you're like, okay, I've been doing video since 2003. So I'm here to help people that want to learn video, right? What's the value proposition? Well, weekly content that will, and I told you how often, weekly, right? So for yourself, and this is why I want you to be taking notes, journaling, because this is some time to do some work. This is a workshop. This is a masterclass. Don't just get some information, put some plans down, put some ideas down, get your goals on paper, get some clarity on the paper. And then who are you and how do you help people? This might be a little bit of a rephrasing of the first 2. These 3 power questions are critical to really standing out online and getting noticed. And here's a great example of how to not do this from my early days on YouTube. So this is my Sean Cannell channel. Nothing really happening with that right now. And you can see these videos 6 years old, 5 years old, whatever. Let's just look at some of the different videos here. So this is you can see it, there's kettlebells and some like diet stuff. It's a health and fitness video right there. Over here is a travel video, zip lining in Vegas. Over here is when we started vlogging. So we vlogged for a while. Right here is a pet product review. Yep, that's what that is, BarkBox review. This is a cooking video. It's a recipe for garlic green beans, quick and easy. And over here is a movie review, Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man. And so I don't know if you're seeing what I'm seeing, but this is a good example of a lack of clarity, of failing on those 3 questions. But let's be honest, right? I mean, come on, we all got to learn somewhere. And can you relate to this? Like, let me know if this kind of looks like your YouTube channel. Like, if someone was to land on your channel, they'd be like, dude, what is this about? Like, is this a movie review channel? Is it like a cooking? Like, what is happening here? The reason I love helping people and doing trainings like this, it's because I want to save you years of mistakes, man. I've made the mistakes. I've wandered in the desert for years posting videos and just being like, man, what's happening? Like, wouldn't a movie review and then some vlogs and then a pet product review? Like, of course that makes sense. It doesn't. It's random. And to be honest, how can anybody follow you if you don't know where you're going? Right? And so let me know. Some people are saying, you just showed me my 3rd channel. And let's see, definitely my channel right now, Archie says. So some of us can relate. And that brings us to the goldfish test. Your YouTube channel, and to be honest, all of your online marketing, branding, website needs to pass the goldfish test. Sean, what is the goldfish test? I'm glad you asked. And what it is they did a study recently that discovered that goldfish have a 9-second attention span, but that humans, because of social media, because of all these distractions, and because of our attention being split all over the place, have a 6 to 8 second attention span. So I've got good news for you. You've got the attention span of a goldfish, or not quite as good, right? And it's also bad news because, and maybe you're like, Sean, I can relate to that because I really do. I'm checking Instagram, then my wife's like, hey, what are we doing tonight? And we're like, what, honey? You know what I mean? Like, maybe you can relate to being a little ADD or just like having your attention all over the place in today's culture, right? The thing is, though, this matters so much for making sense online, breaking through, and growing with video. And it's the goldfish test. It's, does your channel make sense in 7 seconds or less? Does your YouTube channel make sense in 7 seconds or less? So the most recent YouTube channel we've started is called Video Influencers. Let me know if you've actually are here because of Video Influencers. Tell me in the comments. And I believe it's also the channel with the most clarity because it started after all of this wandering, right? All these lessons I've learned. When we started it, I was like, man, this thing's crystal clear. Like, we know what we're doing from the beginning. Like, we started right. And so just a couple things, like one of the questions we would ask, right? Who are you? I'm Sean Cannell, and Benji also, we co-founded this channel together. What do we do? Interviews and training videos to help you build your influence, income, and impact with YouTube and online video. Cool. The name, Video Influencers. It's not audio influencers. It's not podcast influence. It's not how to cook vegan, low-fat, raw materials or raw meals, whatever. It's video influencers. And the other thing is, whether you actually say on your cover or not, like your tagline, the content itself should be sending a message. How to build YouTube subscribers from scratch. How to come up with a YouTube name. How to get sponsored on YouTube. Do you see a theme? I mean, it's speaking a theme. How to grow fast on YouTube. All on theme, all on brand. Clarity, right? So clarity is power. And I also encourage you to do a clarity social media audit. Here's what I mean. Years ago, when I was realizing, not just for YouTube, but even personally, like, where are we actually going with this? Like, where do you want this to go? What do you want to do? What is it you want to build? Who are you and how are you helping people? How do you make sense in the world? Go to your social media and do an audit and see if you just land on your Instagram profile. You just land on your YouTube channel. Does it make sense? Is it clear? And what I realized was that a lot of people in their social media bios have stuff like, I'm a father, husband, YouTuber, cryptocurrency investor who also runs a pet store and is an Olympic athlete. And you're like, wow, you're Mr. Interesting, number one, but I kind of have no clue who you are and like what you do in the world. So personally, when I was learning this, I went and did an audit and I made some changes even to my own social media. So you'll start seeing that whether that's from the imaging or even the tagline, I help people build their influence with online video. And then across social media, across online, I wanted a unified online presence. Here's the thing that's so powerful about this. And let me ask you, how clear, this is the audit, how clear is your branding and messaging right now? In fact, tell me on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being it's like not clear at all, 10 being it's crystal clear. Let me know. But here's the thing. Clarity is power. And we talked about October 2015 and this growth curve that started. One of the major things was the first thing I did when I went all in was I was like, I got to get focused. I can't just be randomly doing whatever. I got to get sniper on this thing. And when I did, it led to massive growth. Clarity is power. Focus is power. You got to be clear. And when you increase your clarity, I see a lot of people, people saying like 5, some people saying like 7. That's great. And here's the thing. When whatever you're at right now, some, Tatey saying like 3 or 4, some people saying a 2, you want to increase that number. And I want to encourage you. It's not just, it never happens instantly. Clarity is a process, even a multi-year process. but you want to be working on it. And as you level up the clarity in your brand, your business, your messaging, your marketing, your content, you will level up your results. And so clarity. 3 fatal YouTube mistakes. That was number 1. Number 2 is low consistency. Low consistency. Here's what I mean by low consistency. Of course, post frequency. How often are you posting online? But also content consistency. It's similar to number 1. If you're reviewing a movie in one video and then the next one you're talking about how to invest cryptocurrency, it's inconsistent content. So consistency. And then message consistency. So how often you're posting, the kind of content you're posting, and then the messaging in your content. And so I love this quote from Barbara White that says, building trust is a process. Trust results from consistent and predictable interaction over time. Let's hang on this for a second. Predictable interaction. That's your goal with your content. When people encounter you online right now, are they getting a predictable interaction with you? Or when they see you, are you talking about one thing one day, another thing the next day, another thing the next day, and people, again, they don't even know where you're going. How can anybody follow you if they don't know where you're going? So what you want to create is a predictable interaction. You want to become the go-to person for something predictable. Now, this is also kind of scary because it might feel limiting. I mean, shoot, I have a lot of things I could put in my bio. I could say, father of 2 chihuahuas, Sophie and Rosie. I could say, avid book reader. I could also say, maybe speaker or consultant. I don't even say those things. I am those things. I'm doing those things, but I really limit it down online because I want that clear messaging. And then when people come to me, that it always ties into a predictable interaction. What's the predictable interaction you want to have with people? And by the way, you don't just have to do this for how-to. Maybe the predictable interaction is it's always funny, or it's always energetic, or it's some type of an entertainment channel. That's fine. But what you want is you want it to be predictable. Again, we turn on The Office with Jim and Michael Scott and Pam and Dwight Schrute because we expect to laugh. We want some dry humor. We think it's going to be funny. If we turn on The Office and all of a sudden it's CSI Miami, we're like, what, dude, that was not, it's way different. I don't want crime. I don't want to try to solve it. I want to watch some Office. A predictable interaction with the promise that you make, your value proposition. Is this helping? Let me know in the comments. And here's another encouraging key. Over time, YouTube is a marathon, not a sprint. And so if you've been doing this for 2 weeks and you're discouraged with the results, friend, I got to tell you, it's going to take more time. Even if you've been doing it for maybe months or years, it is a marathon and not a sprint. And my question is, have people been getting a predictable interaction for you that entire time? One pitfall that a lot of creatives and entrepreneurs fall into is we get bored. Isn't it true? We get bored. And so we shout the same thing. We do the same thing for a year. If it doesn't work, then we're like, you know what, let's switch it up. The problem is, and there is times to pivot, there is times to switch it up, but the problem is now you're just building momentum. You're just getting momentum with saying the same thing, the same message. By the way, don't just echo yourself. That could be boring, but like the same messaging, a consistent theme when people encounter you. When you build that out over time, eventually you might be called, what I was called on a recent snowboard trip recently, and it was kind of cool because we're with a huge group of people. And people were giving me a nickname. They're like, hey, YouTube, come over here. Oh, it's the video guy. Hey, video guy, come over here. That's a good thing. If they're saying like, now your messaging is breaking through, when you become the go-to girl or the go-to guy for a predictable interaction, that is where your power is. And so a question for you when it comes to consistency is, how often are you posting right now? Let me know in the comments. How often are you posting right now on YouTube? Tell me. And I just want to go through just a basic plan. This is what I would say. You're on this because you want to grow with video in 2018. And so here's a basic plan that I think would lead to success. And that's 1 video a week. Our goal is 1 video a week. And you might be already doing more than that. You might not be up to that yet. I encourage you to try to get there. Just because here's what's interesting. YouTube's a marathon, not a sprint. A mistake I see some people make is they actually post too much and they burn out. I would much rather you post a weekly show for the next 24 months than post, that would be 24 months, 2 years, that'd be 104 videos. Then do like 6 months of like tons and tons of videos, but then be so burnt out that you just hit a wall. make it sustainable, make it predictable, make it, make it something that you could sustain, and one quality video a week. And the consistency power tip here is batch producing, batching content. So meet Crystal. Crystal is living with her family in Texas. She's a wife, mother, she's a pastor, she's building her influence online. And her goal was to impact more people, but also generate some side income for her family on YouTube. So she launched a channel, and it's just her name, Crystal Sparks, and it's leadership and like faith-based content on a weekly basis. And after going through some of our training and courses, she really honed in on this process. What she does is she does one shoot day per month, just one shoot day a month, right? So it's like 4 videos here. She does 4 videos per shoot, and that means 12 shoot days a year. In a way, like, how cool would it be to only turn your camera on 12 days a year? Pretty cool, right? It's possible from batching, right? You set up a shoot day this coming Saturday, and not even a whole day, like just the morning, right? You plan out your content, you set up, you shoot 4 videos all in one sitting, and then you only release 1 video a week. And that's what she's done. And here's the thing. She's built not even a large audience, not tons of subscribers, not thousands of views, even if some of her videos do pretty well, but like she'll get like hundreds of views. But what's amazing is by putting out, again, a clear vision, a clear message, clarity, and by being consistent, not being crazy, posting like just boom, once a week, predictable, adding value to a group of people, building a community. Trust is built over time, right? She's been doing that. And because of multiple streams of income, she's generated thousands of dollars for her family, whether that's doing live events or digital products, or she wrote a book, a couple other things that she's done. Leveraging YouTube, she's been crushing it because of being consistent, not just with her posting and using batching, but also with her messaging, right? And I just want to encourage you, work smarter, not just harder. And it reminds me, like, I originally got started in church doing video production as a volunteer. Eventually they hired me on. And I remember this season of my life when I first met with my wife. I got married, and maybe you can relate to being crazy busy, right? I was also waiting tables at Red Robin to pay the bills. She was working jobs. I'm volunteering at the church, then I'm part-time there, still waiting tables. And so I remember when I first started posting Think Media videos, and this is funny, right? I actually put my laptop over here because I thought it would be like a cool 77-inch screen behind me. At least that's what I envisioned in my mind, not realizing it would just be like this tiny, like unreadable screen. Anyways, that's the first video on Think Media. You can look it up. And, just pumping out videos. And then I would maybe shoot a video, and I got in my car. This is me. That was actually the angle. The angle never changes. I don't know why my face is where the laptop is. That was like the second video on Think Media, or the third. But I would just do whatever I could to get videos done on a consistent basis. You cannot compromise on your consistency. I was committed to the consistency. And so I just mounted my phone on my dashboard and talked about my best tips for building a video editing PC, right? And so use batch producing, put in the work, but you got to be consistent. You don't have to have it take over your life. Crystal has figured that out. By putting some smart systems in her life, she's able to do this in a sustainable way, generate good income for her family, and have a ton of fun while doing it. And I love this quote from Bruce Lee that says, long-term consistency trumps short-term intensity. Man, that's like the perfect quote for YouTube, because it's all about just slow and steady over time versus a sprint that burns you out. So that's the first 2 YouTube mistakes. Let's drop into number 3. Number 3 is no strategy. No strategy. I see this happen all the time. People start YouTube, but they actually don't have a strategy for YouTube. And Sun Tzu, famous for the book The Art of War, and renowned military general and strategist, said this: every battle is won before it is fought. Interesting, right? Could it be true that success on YouTube is actually architected before you even post your first video? Could be true. To be honest, there is there's timing that comes into play. There is a little bit of luck and things that come into play. But anybody who has predictable success, or sustained success, slow and steady, that doesn't happen by accident. It happens from being intentional, calculated, strategic, and having a sound plan. And I think this quote is so true. There's something, sometimes you look at people, it seems random when you look at somebody. You're like, wow, they must have just stumbled there. Sometimes people stumble to the top of the mountain, but they'll never stay there. If anyone stays at the top of the mountain, it's because they do know what they're doing, even if they make it look like they don't, right? Why? Because every battle is won before it's even fought. So a couple strategy power questions. And this overlaps with some of the other things, but these are powerful questions to trigger you to spend some time journaling, spend some time working on your channel. And you need, one, a content strategy. What content am I posting and when? You also need a positioning strategy, right? Like, how can my content be different? Sally Hogshead, in her book Fascinate, said the quote that I quote a lot now, that to really stand out on YouTube, different is better than better. You want to break through online? Don't try to be better than the person you're looking up to. Don't try to be better at creating content than the person you follow. You got to be different. That's where the magic is. Different is better than better. How can you position your content to be different? And then a growth strategy. How will my content actually get discovered? You should have an answer for that question. How can I create an advantage over my competitors? You should have an answer for that question, right? So there are 6 strategies that we've been focusing on this year in particular. And I want to give you what those are right now. So this year we're focusing on, number 1, a content pyramid and hero videos. Number 2, micro social media content. Number 3, smart collaborations and interviews. Number 4, searchable content. Number 5, strategic cross promotion and what we call circular video virality. And number 6, maximizing new income streams. These are some of the things that we're really focusing on this year. So let's discuss one of these right now in detail and break it down. And that's the content pyramid and hero videos. Number 1, strategy number 1. So this is the content pyramid. Now, I didn't create this, but a lot of people have referenced this because it's a great way to start developing a content strategy. So what you're seeing here is the strength of the content pyramid is that each of these types of content interact and reinforce each other. So hero content, that's kind of like your goal would be a viral video, large scale tentpole events, like a big video, like maybe if you have a horse channel, just what came to mind, and there's like the Kentucky Derby and you vlog there, like maybe you could do something big around a big event. It's a big scale. It doesn't happen all the time. It's like, it's the hero content. Let's go viral. And, maybe not viral, millions of views, but maybe you typically get a couple hundred, so you get like 10,000 views. Big hero content, right? Then there's hub content, which is regular scheduled push content designed for your prime prospect. And then hygiene content is kind of everything else that's pull content designed for your core target. So here's how I apply this. And I think you could apply this to your channel and your niche. So hero content, I'm actively looking for trends and leaving margin to create viral content once per quarter. So my goal would be on Think Media once a quarter to do something bigger. A lot of times we're pumping out content for weekly and it's got to, shoot it quick, edit it quick, put it out there, make it good, but it's got to be fast. Hero content might be a video that you're editing for a while. You're polishing it up and then boom, you want it to go big, right? But once a quarter. Got it? Hub is a sustainable weekly show that will serve your current subscribers. So it's like once per week. There's your show. There's Crystal's weekly show. And again, it doesn't need to be fancy. It's just every week you're like, hey, every Tuesday you get X. You get a new cooking tutorial. Every Tuesday, I'm going to share a couple financial planning tips with you. Every Tuesday, I'm going to teach you about how to meal prep. Every Tuesday, you're going to get a new animation tutorial. Whatever your niche, whatever your topic is, right? And then your hygiene content, the way I look at it is searchable videos, live streams, other videos, or social media posts. So I'm saying once per day. And what I don't mean is, again, that you need to post 7 videos a week. What I'm saying is once per day means you should have some sort of presence daily online, but it could even be something scheduled out with like social media scheduling software. What's hygiene? Hygiene is typically something they recommend you do every day. Brush your teeth every day. shower every day, hygiene content, right? And so once per quarter, trying to like go big, have a solid weekly show. And then this is also seasonal for us. So like we just did an AB show here in Vegas and shot like a whole bunch of videos all at once. So we went beyond our weekly upload. Like the minimum on Think Media is like once a week, as I would encourage you to do. Our weekly show, just to like always put out that consistency. But then at times, sometimes we post more than that. And those are also searchable videos. So they can be very good at helping us grow our influence. You know, maybe do a Q&A, there's an extra upload or an extra video that you do, a live stream on YouTube, something like that. And so a power question for you is, what are the current hero videos in your niche? What are the big, like if you search the key search phrases in your niche, the things you wish you could get discovered for, what is happening on the other side? Or what are some people that are doing that's big and creative in your niche? So you know that I talk about tech tips and whatnot. So for example, Peter McKinnon has this video, 8 camera hacks in 90 seconds, 3.5 million views, right? Jessica Kobalisi has this photography, similar type of video. Now, these videos kind of had some cool production in them and they planned them out and they figured out what the 8 hacks were. And it was different than maybe just like a talking head video. Your talking head Q&A, you know, might happen every week, but maybe you want to put, now again, this is in my niche, my thing for you is block time to watch and learn from the most popular videos in your niche and maybe start planning out a hero video. Like, ooh, if this is kind of hot content, what content that could I do that could be similar to this? And the bottom line here is that you need a solid strategy and clear goals to succeed on YouTube. Like to really break through, or at least to not play the lottery of YouTube, but to actually have a solid strategy so you can kind of bank on it not being random, but by being planned out, strategic, intentional, because every battle is won before it's even fought. And we've probably all heard the quote, right? That a goal without a plan is just a wish. So if your goal is to hit a certain subscriber number or an income level number, but you don't have a plan, it's not really a goal, it's really a wish. You need a plan, right? And so quick recap, the big mistakes are no clarity, low consistency, and no strategy. You fix these, you're gonna start to grow with video. So I hope you've been getting value and you see how powerful this is. And I'm excited to get into some more stuff. You might already feel like this guy, right? Like you've been just drinking out of a fire hose. I know it's a lot of information. Plus, we're still going to be doing a Q&A. We're going to be giving away some coaching calls. But I would love to know if you've been getting value out of this so far. And would you be interested in more training like this? This is a little bit different than what we've done in the past, you know? And there's a brand new, training we put together, because I really believe that crystal clear clarity, leveling up your productivity, and having smart strategies can really move the needle to help you grow with video and ultimately have more impact with your influence and your income. But I want to hear from you. Would you, want to hear more? And people are saying, yeah, I love this. Yes, please. Yes, I'm interested in more training. I love it. Yes, please. Okay, cool. So then I just briefly, before we get into Q&A, I want to introduce to you a brand new online course that we have been polishing up and putting together, and it's called Grow with Video. And what it is a brand new online course that's all about helping you gain clarity, boost productivity, and create a winning strategy for YouTube. And really what it is it's 5 hours of strategic content broken up into timely and actionable video recordings. It's in-depth training on developing clarity and boosting your productivity. And it's an insider's look at the 6 online video growth strategies for 2018. Simply because of time, we covered that one, but I go into all 6. Those are what we set out. We planned for at the end of last year. Okay, I'm journaling, I'm planning, making some strategies. And here's the cool thing. We've been now deploying them for a couple months, testing them and just getting massive results. And not just us, but so many of the students and members that are already a part of this training. So we break down all 6 of those growth strategies. And in session 1, it's all about clarify and amplify. So we talked a little bit about clarity. We go way deep in there. We've got, a worksheet, an action guide, and also amplify. Not just clarify your messaging and your branding and all that, but also amplify it. How do you actually then 10x it, turbocharge it so it's more powerful and it reaches further? Session 2 is about power productivity. Session 3 is actually about the online tools and business tools we use in our business, whether that's apps and software for scheduling, staying on task, getting videos organized, phone apps for creating content quicker. So all those different tools. And the cool thing is that you've seen my journey. I mean, I was at the beginning in October 2015, it was a side hustle. I had other work. Then I went into the solopreneur season where it's just me. And then I went into the team season, and we've broken down that training because you don't need all the tools all at once, but there's a lot of stuff no matter what season you're in that'll help you go further faster growing your brand with video because of having tools. A lot of them are free. Some of them are very affordable, just different apps, tools. And then session 4 is the video growth strategies. Plus, there is a bonus training, session 5, about how to have your biggest growth year ever on YouTube. And session 2 is really cool, actually. It's actually taught by Heather Torres, who we talked about, who has been crushing it on YouTube. But here's what's so cool is she crossed 8,000 subscribers recently, over 300,000 video views, but she does it in 10 or less hours a week. So the reason I wanted her to teach this is so that she was teaching how to be consistent on YouTube, not if you have a team, or not if you don't have a job, or you don't have family or kids and all these things to juggle. She probably juggles more things than anybody I know, and yet has figured out a system that she shares in Grow with Video of how to do that. So you might be asking, okay, so what's the investment to get into this program? Well, right now, as we mentioned, an hour-long coaching session with me is $500, and a one-day training is $5,000, whether that's brands or companies or even individuals, where I teach this stuff. Like I teach what's in Grow with Video. I go through my processes, my systems, and so when you add up the 5 Grow with Video main sessions, the Grow with Video action plan, and the complete Biz Tools list, these downloads that come with it, softwares and apps, plus there's a module or a video training on that, you can see that this is easily valued at over $2,500 for this whole program. And you can actually grab Grow with Video at the public price of $197 anytime. Like it's out now, you can grab it. But we wanted to put together a crazy, as we do, masterclass special that, again, not weird hype or whatever. This is live, or if you're watching this on the replay, it shuts down Saturday. It's a super limited time special to take advantage of Grow with Video for a very limited masterclass special of $37 plus 2 payments over the next 2 months of $37. And if you want to get access, you can go to joingrowwithvideo.com, or there also could be a button on the watch page below here. If you're on YouTube or if you're on mobile, you'd have to shut down the video at some point and type in growwithvideo.com and it should get you there. And then I think Heather could also post the link in the comments if you're interested. And here's a couple special masterclass bonuses that we're including in this package, not just Grow with Video, not just that program, but we also have stacked up a lot of cool bonuses to make sure you get training that gets you massive results this year with video. So we're including Video Product Review Profits, which is a 4-video mini course that's a jumpstart guide to making money with online video. It's how to build a 6-figure income with YouTube and affiliate marketing. That's the first thing that I ever did before I ever created courses, before I ever did training like this. We built income first, which is YouTube and affiliate marketing and the Amazon Associates program, as well as some other kind of niche affiliate programs. And I break down some of my tips of how to do that in that program and kind of case studies like this. This is a different affiliate program than Amazon. And you could see that it's also based off of one video. So I uploaded one video to YouTube. That video is over 630 days old. And in 2017, it generated nearly $3,000, and it's already continuing to generate money in 2018, even though it's literally over 650 days old now, right? So that's what's in that bonus. There's also the advanced YouTube live training. This is covering YouTube Live 101, as well as some advanced strategies for YouTube live streaming. And this is a 1-hour in-depth training. I wanted to include this because I honestly think that YouTube Live is another key component and an opportunity for you and for me in 2018. And what we talk about with the advanced strategy is how to kind of get results like this. So this video is 250 days old and it's got a lot of views, but it continues to get 16 views per hour, even though it was a live stream that was recorded, nearly a half a year ago or whatever the math is. And it was shot with a $45 webcam sitting right here. And it's crushing. And we break down that case study in that course. I'll speed up here. You get the Crush Collabs course, 7 creative ways to do collaborations, and also how to actually get collabs and interviews with hard to reach influencers. And additionally, you'll get a private Q&A strategy session with me. So 1 group coaching call, 2 hours of private Q&A. And by the way, we're going to do Q&A in just a second, and we'll jam for as long as we can. But this will be targeted just for people who take advantage of this offer. So it'll be a small concentrated group. And we can also do channel reviews, branding reviews of your social media, and do some group coaching. So you also get motivation, encouragement after you've dived into the training in the courses that are included. So these bonuses are worth $688 worth of exclusive bonuses, but they are yours all free when you enroll in Grow with Video today. So this is the package, $37 to get started, plus 2 payments of $37. Plus there is also a pay in full option to save even more. And of course, there's a 100% risk-free satisfaction guarantee, as with all of our programs and products. And so the goal here is so you can get a head start in your niche, right? Save years of the mistakes and wandering and lack of clarity, testing and experimenting, thousands of dollars that I've invested in learning, hundreds of hours of study and experiments. It's a fast track. That's what Grow with Video is. And you would also be locking in this enrollment price. You could buy these programs separately later or pay the full price for Grow with Video, but this offer will only be available for a very limited time. And it's a 100% 30-day money-back guarantee. So your enrollment is completely risk-free. So join growwithvideo.com or click the button on the page or find a way to get there or look in the comments. But this is definitely a package that I know will deliver massive value to you. And we probably should have charged a lot more than we are for this training. But again, we're also committed to helping. We're on a mission. We want to help 10,000 people make this legit. We want to help 10,000 people be a part of this online video revolution. And as an online educator and teacher, my greatest passion is seeing the results of students and people that are members of our community, and people are actually crushing it with this training. And so that is that. Check it out at Join Grow with Video Live. And then we talked about a giveaway. Here's how you can enter to win a free coaching call with me. One of 2. All you got to do is make sure you're following me on Instagram and then leave a comment on this post. You'll see this post over on my Instagram with here's the key, with your biggest takeaway from Grow with Video. And that will get you entered in one of 2 coaching calls with me. And there's a bonus way to enter if you want an additional entry chance. And that is, post an Instagram story and of your notes. Remember, we mentioned your notes. We mentioned take some notes because we really believe this training is valuable and can get you results. And then tag me and use the hashtag Grow with Video. Make sure to use the hashtag Grow with Video because that's how we'll be able to actually see this Instagram story. And that's it. And that'll give you an additional entry for a chance to win that coaching call. And I'm excited to take a little bit of Q&A as well as to answer some of your questions if you have any about Grow with Video. And this is also, of course, social media. If we're not connected, let's stay connected. And so to get started with Grow with Video, go to joingrowwithvideo.com. Again, limited time offer. And you can send us questions, YouTube live chat, comments below, anywhere else that Heather will try to capture those. And let me know if you have any questions about any of the above. Shai asks, do you need to have a big following on all the social media platforms where you share your videos in order to gain more subscribers fast? The answer is no. I mean, but maybe fast would be the question I would wonder about. Everything, if you think about it, it is a growth curve. And it's going to start slow. The way that businesses grow, YouTube channels, social media grow, they don't just usually shoot straight up. It usually starts slow and there's a curve to it. The key is, I started from scratch. In fact, anybody you watch online, they started from scratch. Everybody started at 0. Some people brought influence from somewhere else. So that was an advantage. So other social media influence can help. but everybody's situation is different. The biggest answer is no. And what's cool is, in fact, one of our Grow with Video students, I think if you want to see a couple stories about Grow with Video, if you go, this is the page that you'll see the details. And you can watch this video and hear a few stories of people that have taken the course and see all the details over here. This is what you'll see when you go to joingrowwithvideo.com. But we've had some crazy people who've started this year, who've already gotten hundreds of subscribers. Some of their videos are getting thousands of views. Why? Clarity, strategy, a predictable system for consistency, right? And so, yeah, you don't need necessarily a huge following. Joe says, I haven't made any money with YouTube or affiliates yet. When should I consider setting up a business tax ID or register a business name? This might not be good advice. A good way to start an answer to a question, right? But I think you should hold off. And actually, I did learn it from a real CPA. I asked when I was doing freelance work, when I had a full-time job and I was earning money on the side, I said, hey, when should I start a separate business? Like an LLC? And they said, when you start making six figures. Now, by the way, get your own advice. And at the time, we weren't doing six figures on the side. And so that income was just 1099 to us. You know, here in the US, you don't actually need an LLC to like take advantage of tax discounts and stuff. All an LLC is a limited liability company. So that will protect you with liability. But like you can deduct as a sole proprietor with just your social security number, you can deduct, you know, equipment and gear and so on and so forth for a number of years before the IRS would consider it a hobby. But anyways, all that to say, I would say create a ruckus first. This is what some people do. The mistake they make is they try to like get business cards, structure their business, organize their business, worry about their business, buy a printer for their business. You know what I mean? And like, there's no business happening yet. I would say go make money first, proof of concept first, get videos out first. Be like, whoa, I'm making $5 on Amazon, because you're not going to be in a place where you should worry about taxes probably for a little while. And for the first little while, you probably reinvest most of your earnings back into making more content and more equipment or whatever. So anyways, a few tips there. Want to congratulate Alexa, Anthony, JC Mason, Jade, Susan, Lewis, all for jumping in to Grow with Video. Thanks so much for investing in the program. Excited to see you guys inside of there. Heart Shadow, how do you learn how to get out of yourself and become more animated? Probably the best way is to do it a lot. You see me now and you see maybe my charisma or being on camera and these different things. But one thing to know is that, again, I started video volunteering for my local church in 2003. And I started doing weekly video announcements and they were terrible. You know, I like to say your first videos are always going to be your worst videos, but I've been posting videos and by the way, I wasn't even posting them yet. YouTube didn't exist in 2003. So I was practicing and I was shooting and I was awkward on camera. And then even some of my first videos, you just got to start. But the other thing is I would encourage you to do like intentional things to grow as a communicator. So when I first started my freelance business, I would go to like Toastmasters, which is where you can learn public speaking. Look that up, Toastmasters in your local city. What people sometimes don't realize is that in a way, YouTube is kind of like public speaking. And a lot of people don't like public speaking, right? It's intimidating. And so if you level up your communication skills and your speaker skills in every way possible, that's what I wanted to do. I just wanted to practice, post. I bought some communication training off of eBay. I remember like these 12 CDs from all these communicators. Like I just really wanted to level up as a communicator. So I just want to encourage you, start before you're ready, start ugly because your first videos are going to be your worst videos, and learn as you go. And realize that everybody starts somewhere and no one is ever fully in their, who they are or like fully polished, typically like you see them today. John Acuff has a quote that I love and it says, never compare your beginning to somebody else's middle, right? We see the person when they're already Michael Jordan in the NBA, crushing it, nailing those baskets, hitting those free throws. But then we don't see that he didn't make the high school basketball team. You know what I mean? And that he had to put in extra work and extra work and extra work and extra work early on to get noticed. And then he eventually became who he was today. Never compare your beginning to somebody else's middle. Just get started and learn as you go. Black Hoodie, How do you choose a name for your channel? We have a great video out about that. And so on Think Media, you could just head over and type in maybe like how to choose a name for your YouTube channel. And let's see how we're doing. So there you go. This is a pretty in-depth video that will help you on that, how to name your YouTube channel. Jen Adventures TV, but what if you have a vlog that is personality based? I talk about different things because of my audience. I talk about jokes and I like to entertain. So it's a good question. Here's the thing, Jen. What is the predictable interaction with you? So in this case, what you're attempting to do is you are trying to build a brand around yourself. Now, keep this in mind. Like you might say, well, Sean, so are you. Yeah, maybe, but actually not really. I am actually building my brand around a value proposition of being an online video educator. I'm not building my brand around, yo, hear my opinion. Maybe it's my opinion, but you know what I mean? Like I've made a predictable promise and therefore, maybe some people would follow me, or if I started vlogging or something, they just want to see like what you eat or what you do. But you can do that. You're now the predictable promise. Here's my challenge to you. And I'm not sure where you are with your vlog. I just say, and the reason I'm so passionate about this training and Grow with Video is I really believe that a niche channel on YouTube is the best way to grow on YouTube first versus starting with a vlog. Because if your promise, if someone was to say, okay, hey, why should I watch your channel? And your answer was, because I'm awesome, man. Now that works. And by the way, you follow people who are, and you got to like know your own DNA. If you got it, and like if you're here's the thing, your vlog's promise might be it's always funny, or it always is showing you how to run a family of 25 kids, you know, or it's always showing you a life in Alaska. Like it could be based on different promises, but if it's just based on personality, it just might be a harder climb to get thousands of people and enough of an audience to care versus if you love gardening or you love scrapbooking or you love Pokemon Go or you love Monopoly or board games and you start a board game channel. Now what you're going to do is you're going to rally everybody else who loves board games. And here's the thing. It just might be easier to grow at first. I mentioned my friend Judy from It's Judy Time. And she and her husband Benji from Video Influencers now vlog full time, but she started with a makeup and beauty channel. So they didn't start vlogging. And so then eventually people were like, yo, I just want to, you can talk about whatever you want. So it can work. The problem is we get confused because when we're just starting on YouTube, we compare ourselves to sometimes famous vloggers and we think, oh, I should do what they did. What we're also doing is we're comparing our beginning to their middle and actually operating the way they're operating in their middle when maybe that's not the best way to start. So right or wrong, I'm not actually saying now it's up to you to decide what you're going to do. But if you stick with vlogging, think about a predictable promise. Why should someone watch it? They're going to learn about this. It's always funny, or it's always sad, or it's always, I don't know what it is, or it's always just entertaining. And if entertaining is the promise, then that's what you got to work. The promise is every day you're getting 5 to 10 minutes of inspiration and entertainment. At least know that, and it will help you make better decisions and sculpt your content so that it has greater clarity. Want to welcome Gardner, Lewis, Red in Business Content, Audra, Stephen, David, Clint, Pamela, Catherine. Thanks so much. So many people jumping in to Grow with Video. We've got, for those maybe that are just joining, right now we're doing some Q&A. We have a couple things going on that I'll just recap. If you got questions, let me know. If you want to get started with the Grow with Video offer, just go to joingrowwithvideo.com. And we're also doing a giveaway. And so if you want to be entered to win one of 2 coaching calls with me, just make sure that you're following me over on Instagram and then leave a comment on this post of my wife, Sonia, and I with your biggest takeaway from the Grow with Video training that happened today. Oh, and bonus entry, if you do an Instagram story, but make sure to tag Sean Cannell and use the hashtag #GrowWithVideo so we can actually find it. Matthew, I just purchased your course, 97, super reasonable. Do you have a recommendation of where to start for someone who wants to be a motivational entrepreneur while documenting their own journey to success? Yeah, I think a couple things. I mean, here's the good news, Kenosha, and thanks so much for jumping in, is, or Matthew, is you got Grow with Video. So the recommendation, like, I think you'll get a lot of clarity as you start going through those modules, getting clarity. I think the key is to start posting videos and stick to one video a week. And one channel I would encourage you to look at is Marie Forleo. In fact, let's look at it together, just because it's not really per se motivational, but kind of. And what I love is it just kind of paints a picture of starting and growing. Because now, if we look at some of her new, this is 3 weeks ago. I mean, her branding, whatever. Okay, great. You've got a better camera. You've got a studio. Why, my gosh, you're editing. Geez, Marie, look at your greatest studio of all time. And I'm joking, right, in my voice. But you can feel that way. You could be like, dude, camera angles, you know, pop out graphics, like, how can I compete with that? The key is you don't. Number one, how can you be different? But number two, you just got to start. So let's go to her oldest videos, and she's kind of in that entrepreneur, you know, motivation niche. 7 years ago, right? Boom. Hey guys. And I love this, right? This is why I want to encourage you is get started. Okay. A little cool branded intro. That's it. Like a small bumper. Like, boom, Fiverr, you could get that designed or just hire somebody one time. And then she just like kind of answers questions sitting on her couch with her laptop, right? And so I think that, and I want to share this and answer because you've got the Grow with Video training. So that's your next step. But for everybody watching, start posting videos. Here's the cool thing. And I like as soon as possible, get your first video up. Even if you just go live, get your first video up. I am here to be a voice in your ears, coming through your iPhone 7, broadcasting on your Droid or Windows or Google phone. If you can hear my voice, I am saying post your first video. Because here's the thing, you could always delete it. You could always make it unlisted. You could always make it private. But what's interesting is I'm so passionate about tactics, training, courses, all this stuff we do. But I will promise you this, if all you ever do is watch these webinars and take our courses, but you never post a video, you'll never get results. And if all you do is watch our training for like 6 months or a year, but never post a video, you won't learn nearly as much as you'll learn if you're posting videos while you're learning. Does that make sense? My best advice is literally get your first video out. Like, don't overthink it. Don't even like take a card, write, you know, how to stay motivated. Tip 1, 2, 3, post it next to your camera, turn it on record. What's up, guys? Sean here. Today I'm talking about, and put it out there. Who cares about the results? That's not the point. The process of getting that video posted while you're going through our training, while you're watching Think Media, while you're watching video influencers, or while you're investing in our courses, that's where the magic will happen. And if you keep posting while, and it's really both. If all you do is post, but you don't get smart strategies and tactics, you're wandering, trying to figure out, like I did for years before you eventually started to learn some stuff. You get the fast track by getting the information, but it's totally both. Hope that helps. Matthew, Sean, okay, Anthony, my niche is saturated. Doing supporting website, need more ideas on how to stick out. Any suggestions? Anthony, a couple ideas on how to stand out. I've got a video that I want you to watch, and it's on Think Media. And you could get there by just typing in Think Media Trends. And maybe you can't get there because I don't actually know what it's called. Trends, culture, trend hacking. So how to hack culture and grow your YouTube channel. Everybody, I think, would love this video, but this is a good video that I want you to watch. Ways to stand out. That's some tactics for you, Anthony, when you're in a super saturated niche. But let me also, say a few things. And mind you, obviously, when you start, what's happening. But like my niche is saturated. Tech. is super saturated. Super saturated. My gosh, there's so much competition in this niche, but what's the point? But there's so much opportunity still. And I'll give you like an example. We found things, this kind of goes into some stuff that we cover in other programs, but like one of the big things that I'm passionate about is ranking videos. It's one of our main strategies, and we touch on that in Grow with Video. But like when we did NAB recently, we covered a lot of different products and different things from the show. And whether that is things like maybe this, best cheap microphone or something like this. If we use a tool like vidIQ, which is what all this is to get all this data and all these stats, you can see these tags that this video is ranking for. And these distinctions, like these are just different things. Like if someone searches dual lavalier microphone system, it ranks number 5. The reason I share that is because it doesn't matter how big your channel is. It helps if you got a little more channel authority, but the key is to find the uncovered topics, the uncovered angles, the questions people have asked that nobody's answered, or the questions that people are asking, searching for, that nobody's answered well, or the questions that people are asking that nobody's answered recently, like the information's not current, and then begin to carve out your awareness of who you are one video at a time. And we call it one ranked video at a time. And so check out that video though, and there'll be a lot of ideas. Jamie, thanks for joining Grow with Video. Ryan, Azim, Krishna, Andrew, Anish, Mira, Snowbirdict, Michael, thanks so much for joining Grow with Video. Super pumped. SNC Family Tree. Everyone always says to get views, go with what's searchable, trends like boyfriend tag. But how would you do that with a family vlog? Good question. You could do things like, I did this, Las Vegas horseback riding. So I did mention back when we were vlogging, and it's a little bit older now, but you can see this video, 5 years old. Here's Sean on a horse with a Celebrate America hat on. And so I'll tell you a few search strategies here. Number 1, local search, like people are looking for Las Vegas horseback riding. So we went and did it. The other key here was that rather than, this is a huge mistake people make, they'll start their whole day and like wake up the kids and like make breakfast, and like their 5 minutes of the vlog is before they get to the horseback riding. The key is whatever you promise in your title, you need to make sure you at least tease it right at the beginning of your content. So then when someone got here, they could be like, okay, I'm looking for Las Vegas horseback riding. And then I had my little intro thing. And then we did start out like just driving and whatever else. And we eventually got there, but we did get there by 37 seconds into the video or so. But so whether it's doing that, point is restaurants, theme parks, locations, searchable things, etc. And then let me give you one other strategy, and that is do things. Okay, so you said people like a boyfriend tag, search for a boyfriend tag. Consider not vlogging every day of the week. Consider starting a searchable show. Boom. It's a different strategy. Like the power of just shifting your content strategy could change everything, because now your searchable show that comes out on Saturdays could reach new people. And then at the end, you're like, hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this. And actually, 3 days a week, we post vlogs on this channel, but every Saturday we're posting this food trying challenge series. You know what I mean? Like, so there's a lot of ways you could do it, but here's one of the things. If YouTube has certain rules, certain best practices, certain things that work on it and certain things that don't work on it, you are putting yourself in an advantage to stack the deck by positioning your style of content, the organization of your shows. So let me even challenge you at a higher level. One of the ways we can actually get better answers is by asking better questions. So what would a completely revamping your entire YouTube strategy look like? Just as an idea, just go down that chain of thought. What would rebranding, rethinking it, and then playing according to what's happening in culture and trends, and then repositioning yourself for this next season? What could that do? Does that make sense? So I would definitely say repositioning or changing up your content strategy could be critical, or at least a huge opportunity to really grow if what you're doing is not working, especially. A couple things. I think we have some new people. I want to shout out some new people that are part of the program here, but just so you know kind of what's happening, we have a package of all of these bonuses: live call with me, some bonus courses, $688 worth of exclusive bonuses, plus our program Grow with Video, over 5 hours of training, $37 plus 2 payments of $37. And you can get in to the training 100% risk-free at joingrowwithvideo.com. Now, this is a limited offer. And if you're watching this, then you're here live, because we're live right now. This is live. Or you're here on the rebroadcast. This comes down May 5th, Saturday, May 5th at midnight. We leave it up for a few days. Just give a chance for people that were working, people who couldn't make it live, to watch it, but then it goes down. And you could still get into Grow with Video, but the price will double and the bonuses will change and go away. So this is definitely the time if you want to get a cutting edge and on your YouTube strategy, clarity, and learn some of the best strategies for growing with video this year, to join this program at this very special offer. We're doing a giveaway as well. Hit us up with the Instagram stories. Excited to see those. And we're in the middle of Q&A. So definitely hit us up. Plus, I also have a question for those that are still here, and thanks for jamming with me. Could you do us a favor and tell me in the YouTube live chat or in the Facebook comments on the watch page, or send me a tweet at Sean Cannell, or just tweet it out with the Grow with Video hashtag. Was that too many options? What did you think of this training? Scale from 1 to 10. Was it an 8 out of 10? What did you learn? What was your biggest takeaway? I know you're also maybe doing that on the giveaway. If you've already done that, great. But I'd just love to hear from you. Would you like us to do more master classes like this? How was it? Scale of 1 to 10. What was your biggest takeaway? Would you recommend that to somebody else? Post that somewhere so that we could see it, because we always love your feedback. We want to make sure that we are providing value. Today, Pre-Music says, when you talked about clarity, is it better to have separate channels for different things, vlog and video tutorials, or to do it on one channel with separate videos with themes and playlists? So this is I got a couple pieces of advice. Number one, I think it might be better to do it on multiple different channels. Problem is, running multiple channels is brutally tough, no matter who you are. It's hard. I've got a team. I co-run Video Influencers with Benji, and just running 2 channels well is tough. So I would probably suggest, if the niches are so different that you do need 2 channels, then I would challenge you to say pick one and don't even do 2. Build one thing up so it's strong, so that it's crushing, so that it gets you to a world where maybe you could have help or work on this more full time, and then you could potentially start another one. The other thought is that maybe it could all fit on one channel, so long as at least the value proposition is the same. And here's a good way to think about your YouTube channel. Your YouTube channel is kind of like a TV network. It's kind of like Comedy Central. So Comedy Central has different shows, but the promise of Comedy Central is the haha. It's the, that was so funny. And it's not news, and it's not the Food Network. It's Comedy Central, right? So if your vlogs or whatever still are the same promise, here with, a laugh a day keeps the doctor away. Welcome, then you're delivering a show, but maybe people don't like your vlogs, but they like your other thing, right? So you could keep it on brand. The problem is that's just a different format. What is it delivering to the target audience? Another way to think about your channel is like a magazine. And this will help maybe some of you are challenged thinking, well, how narrow do I need to be? You don't necessarily need to be super narrow. Think about your YouTube channel like a magazine. GQ magazine. Do you know what magazine that is? What's it about? Men's fashion, men's this, men's that. But here's the thing with GQ, or, Cosmopolitan, or People magazine. It's about all kinds of different things, but it's a gossip magazine. So you could have a YouTube channel that's about current events, current celebrities, current, whatever. But the promise of People magazine or Cosmopolitan or GQ, it's consistent. And in GQ, you might see the best movies to watch during the summer. You might see the best fashion tips. You might see how to do some, you know, meal prep, but the promise is the target audience, helping, you know, sophisticated men live their best life. So it's interesting, and this might even sound like conflicting information, but when I was looking at the Sean Thinks channel, showing you all those videos, the problem was I had no consistent message. I had no consistent clarity. If I was like the GQ of YouTube, then maybe it would make sense to do a movie review and then a cooking tutorial. But in every video, and here's the key, in every video, maybe I'm articulating it, or maybe the bumper is saying it, or the channel branding is saying it. The promise is made clear somewhere, because look, nobody is confused about what GQ is about. And some people, if you haven't heard about it, just in case, GQ, I mean, look at how many different things this is about: style, grooming, best stuff, recommendations, culture, fitness, travel, eats. But it is a clear kind of promise. It's a men's channel. It's not the only way to do it, but it's a way to do it. But yet I know what I'm going to get when I go to GQ. I'm going to get a little bit of entertainment, some information. I'm a man, and that's their target audience, right? And their value proposition is clear, yet it is variety. So it's possible to do variety. The key is with clear messaging. I hope those are helpful. Jan Elsie, sorry to say your name right. I'm a YouTuber in Puerto Rico, so our first language is Spanish, but I'm more comfortable vlogging in English. I'm bilingual, and sometimes I switch languages. Do you get views depending on where you live? If that's true, what do you suggest I do? I tried adding subtitles of both languages, but it's consuming a lot of time, and now I'm adding English subs when someone who speaks Spanish. Here's the problem. Unless, let's go back to clarity. Who is your target audience? Let me ask you this. What language does your target audience speak? Here's 3 options for you. They either speak Spanish, or they speak English, or they're bilingual. If they're bilingual, you could do that. It actually might be a smart idea, but that's going to be a smaller market. There's a small amount of people who are probably bilingual. A lot of people speak Spanish, a lot speak English. If you say, though, this channel is all about this value proposition, and you probably wouldn't even say it. It would just be obvious. Meaning if you land on the channel, if I land on a channel, I don't speak Spanish, and they're speaking Spanish, I might check it out for a second, and then I'll be like, clearly, this is not for me, because I don't know and I'm not going to look up closed captions. I just would move past it. The converse is true. If you're speaking English and someone's like, I don't understand what you're saying, captions could help, but it's not going to be a winning long-term strategy. You got to pick one. Who is your target audience? So what language do they speak? The problem is too, some people have tried to upload an English video and then a Spanish video and like label them. If I subscribe, half the videos you put out are going to be irrelevant to me. So one of our challenges on YouTube is we don't want to build up with like some of our content and then tear down our channel with other content, right? Spanish, 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 Spanish. Ooh, people are loving it. People get what it is. You start posting English videos, they're like, dude, what's going on? Makes sense? Clarity. Clarity. Audra, how important are playlists in an overall strategy? I think that they're very important. And we actually, this is inside the Grow with Video members area. You'll see, clarity session 1, power productivity, business tools, growth strategies, best year ever. We also have some bonuses. Inside of our bonuses, we have the power of playlist training. And this kind of goes into a lot of advanced strategy stuff for playlists. The point is you want to really use them. And we have put out some free information about it as well. So check that out on Think Media. But playlists are a huge hack. Claudia, I absolutely need to learn how to batch videos. I'm a beginner. Can you do a few videos on this on one of your channels? Yeah, Claudia, best recommendation is type in YouTube checklist. And you'll see a little behind the scenes of just my checklist for batching videos. How to be consistent on YouTube, my YouTube checklist. Check that out. Kimmy, Sean, I write my own original music. I would like to know, how can I put it on YouTube without others trying to steal it? So Kimmy, a couple things. I mean, I actually would argue, or you can do a couple things. You can upload your music to like YouTube SoundScan. Is that what it's called? So here it is, how to register an album to SoundScan. that's where YouTube recognizes if someone uploads your music on their videos, and then you at least get the monetization, or you set the terms and they'll shut it down. I don't know if it's called SoundScan. Maybe somebody can help me. But here's the challenge I would say to you. I think that worrying about someone stealing your music is not the main worry to have in 2018. I think the bigger worry is competition and how many other options there are out there. So it's just a personal opinion, and I totally understand you want to protect your IP, your intellectual property. But what you'll notice is there's a lot of artists, SoundCloud, Bandcamp, they're trying to like not give their music away as in the rights, but they're trying to give like YouTubers rights to use their music, use it in your videos, no strings attached. Why? Because they understand that awareness and getting people's attention and building a fan base is more important, especially early on, than maybe saving a few pennies or like just fighting on the letter of the law. A friend of mine, you know, he makes sure to always, it's not a patent, but he makes sure to submit all of his writing, all the songs that he writes. He has a song, writer as well as composer, and he does all the necessary rights. So if he does have legal recourse, but here's the thing, I honest personal opinion, I just wouldn't worry about it too much. I would be trying to get fans, get subscribers, get people to care, get as many people on board as possible. And the other way I look at theft a little bit is maybe weird. I kind of look at it as flattering. Like it's like if someone's like that interested in like stealing my stuff and like putting it out there, I'm like, at least I'm doing something that is steal worthy. You know what I mean? Just personal. Want to say what's up to some new members: Fred, Matthew, Desiree, Mariana, Jill, Matthew, Stratton, Nicholas, Diana, Desiree. Super pumped to have you guys in Growth Video. Guys, you know, we only do usually like one big live webinar a year. You know, maybe this year we'll do 3. This is kind of, second quarter. We're doing this, and I'm so glad you took advantage of Growth Video. If you're on the fence, jump in. Number one, you got 30 days to check it out. So I just want to make sure you get this offer, because when we go live and when we leave the replay up for a few days, that's when it's the best. And if you hang out with our tribe and our community for a while, you're going to learn that's when like the deal is just awesome, outrageous value. And then we also have other great values year round, but never like it is right now. So guys, thanks for taking massive action. Let's jam on some questions. So Abby says, how long does the Grow With Video membership last? Is the time limited? You have lifetime access to that training. So you're good there. No worries. Also, maybe you're busy right now too, right? And as you probably would be, I would also encourage you, even if you don't know, you're like, I know I want to do this, and I know that maybe during the summer I'll be able to jump in. Lock in this enrollment price now because you have lifetime access. So the training's going to be there waiting for you. We are always tweaking and making our products even better all the time, and all our members will tell you that, adding as much value. So you're not going to regret investing now just to lock in massive savings on this special offer. Sam and Steven, what would your biggest advice be for YouTube comedy filmmakers? My biggest probably piece of advice is be prolific. Prolific. I look at, and this is for comedy filmmakers and almost anybody, but there's a song by Macklemore called 10,000 Hours, based off a concept from Malcolm Gladwell that he studied in his book called 10,000 Hours. His book's called Outliers. The concept's called 10,000 Hours. And there was this study they did of people who achieved mastery in any given field. People, whether it was music or comedy or business. And they saw this weird trend that when individuals hit 10,000 hours of not just time, that's a myth. Because if you're not learning and getting better and evaluating, just because you do something for 10 years doesn't mean you might have just done the same thing over and over and you're exactly where you started. But by having intentional personal development and practice on a given subject, when people hit 10,000 hours, they were at like this mastery level. And so in that song from Macklemore, he has this line where he says, the greats weren't great because at birth they could paint. The greats were great because they paint a lot. And he referenced Keith Haring and Basquiat. You know, one of my inspirations is Picasso. And in his life, he did over 20,000 pieces of content, paintings, sketches, sculptures. He did even some teaching, some poetry, some different things. 20,000 units of output. I want to encourage you and everybody watching that the mystery of people who eventually, with comedy filmmakers, you want to have a hit. You want to have a viral video. You want to get 1 million views. A lot of times, there's actually a comedian right now that Heather and I are friends with, killing it with some viral videos on YouTube and specifically Facebook, killing it, millions of views. Heather was talking to him, hey, what was your secret for like figuring out how this worked? He's like putting out a lot of bad videos, like putting out a lot of ones that didn't work, testing them, evaluating them, and then trying again. So especially for something like comedy filmmaking, they're called PQOs, prolific quality outputs. People who want to achieve mastery and really, you know, do this full time, be great, you know, build influence. You just got to do a lot of work and know kind of that a lot of your first projects, you never know when it's going to be. It might be like video 10 and you're like, boom, you're just a natural, or it might be video, you know, 100, but you got to get to video 100 and you don't want to give up at video 95. And again, not just doing work, because you can put out 20,000 pieces of garbage. It's a lot of times your early work is not the best, but you get better and better and better because you're evaluating and you continue to level up your learning and grow. So that's what I'd recommend for something like comedy, learning timing, learning the energy, getting feedback, seeing what the market says, seeing what the audience says. Couch athlete. Do I need Photoshop to create professional grade thumbnails for my videos? No. I use Photoshop, but let's see how to make a custom, you know, thumbnail. Let's see here. Check out this video, and I go into how to use Canva. Heather on our team, she uses Canva, and so even over on her channel, a lot of her thumbnails are really good and just clean and simple, but she uses Canva. So I think she might also use PicMonkey at times. You could actually connect with her and ask her which one she uses. Amara, how can I make a channel for English speakers even if I'm in another country? I had this doubt since Juan Pedro TV uploaded a video in English and nobody English speaking came to see it. I think, again, just identify your target audience. Juan Pedro, we collabed once, great guy. You know, he's serving people who are speaking Spanish. I don't think you can do both on one channel. So you need to just pick one. But by the way, it doesn't matter where you live. You could live in Chile and serve English-speaking people around the world. You could live, we have a lot of people in our courses and communities. They live in the UK, they live in Canada, they live in India, they live all around the world, but they speak English and maybe their largest audience is in the US or it's in, you know, North America somewhere. What's the cool thing about YouTube is you can be anywhere in the world. The key is clarity from where you are. I mean, people don't even necessarily need to know where you are. You know what I mean? Like, what gives away where I am right now in this room? Absolutely nothing. So if I add value, I got a value proposition, I deliver content, it doesn't matter where you live. However, if I spoke English today, French tomorrow, and German on the next day, I would have a very confused YouTube channel. That'd be very hard to grow because it would be going in all kinds of different directions. Julie, how can I target my niche during doing 2 different topics of beauty and fitness? I think, Julie, a good thing to do is, again, take a step back and maybe do kind of a variety channel. So think about your promise. The thing is, it's very powerful to promise weekly workout videos, but it's also very powerful to maybe promise total kind of makeover. So maybe you didn't even mention fashion, but it sounds like that's like everything. Like, you'll feel your most confident self when you've got beauty going on, fitness going on, and fashion going on. You know, this is all things appearance, you know, and it sounds weird when you say it that way, but it's not, you know, that'd be a good thing, like helping you with those types of things. And again, think of it like a magazine, but then really, by the way, hone in your messaging, because how you articulate it and how you package it in a brand that makes sense and is cohesive does take work. It's not instant. You got to work on it, get feedback, worksheet, journal it out. But you can find that idea, that big idea that your YouTube channel has, and then the shows support it. Come on, ladies, let's get your fitness game on lock. Come on, let's get your fashion game on lock. Come on, let's get your beauty game on lock. That's what this channel is all about. And hey, let's get your mindset on lock too, whatever it is. You figure out that promise, and then people know who you are, how you can help them, and what predictable value they can expect from you over time. Want to welcome April Smith, Jesse Starbone, Sarah Stern, and Rihar Got 84. Thank you so much for jumping in to Grow with Video. We're doing some Q&A. If you want to check out Grow with Video and you're curious about the offer, head over to joingrowwithvideo.com is the website. Joingrowwithvideo.com. And when you get there, what you're going to also see, a couple things, is there's a video. If you're curious exactly what you get in the course, watch this video. You'll also hear some stories from some of our current members. And you'll also see 2 different payment options. There's 3 payments, or you can save by paying in full. You get all these bonuses. Just click purchase offer. It takes you over, enter your information, and then boom, you'll be inside the course after that. And you have access to all of this training instantly. And so all inside of here. And Gina, how often should I go through your comments and reply? Once a week, every other day? I'd like to schedule into my work week. Yeah, I think do the best you can. I think I like to reply in batches myself. And here's kind of a quick little tactic, right? So you can go into your creator studio of your YouTube channel, and you can go to community, and community will put all your comments, and it won't be on your newest videos, but it'll put all your comments in order. So look, 12 minutes, 22 minutes, 36 minutes. So sometimes I'll go here, and it also will say, like, what? If I want to search comments by like question, I could say, I could do that, and guess what? Will come up. Hey man, great video. My question is, so I could actually see like just questions and go sniper straight to those. You could do other searches, etc. So I like to batch replying to comments. Ray, coach at Beachbody. How do I get leads from a channel featuring world changers who in their own way make others' lives better? Ray, I've got a great tip for you. Hard-earned lesson that I was doing it wrong first. So we, years ago, had a channel called Think International, and we interviewed a lot of world changers. They were people in the faith community, church leadership videos and things. And here's what we would do early on, though. Here's the mistake, is I would do these videos like this that say, let's see, early on, this is a good one. Benny Perez interview in Las Vegas. Think dialogue. Because our show is called Think International. We were trying to be clever. And so we're like, these are the Think dialogue episodes. Here's what I learned. When it comes to online marketing, clarity is a lot more important than being clever. I see people do this all the time. So this is cool. And 7 years ago, this worked not too bad. But like, what is the interview about, right? Benny Perez interview in Las Vegas, Think dialogue. Horrible title. Like, could not be worse, right? This too, Judah Smith, lead pastor, City Church. And then it goes interview on honor and transition. At least it says a few things. But the big lesson that I learned was that was the 100% wrong way of positioning this content. So let me take you inside the world of video influencers. This is what'll happen is if then 5 years later, you have a lot of pain, heartache, and mistakes, and you learn some things, and that's our passion, right? Is help you go further, faster, and avoid all that pain, all those mistakes. Is now, if we do a video, it leads with how to start a successful vlog channel, then the person. And it leads with a promise in every video. Now, I won't go too deep into this, but this also, when you're doing interviews, 100% influences how you shape the content. As the interviewer, you need to shape the content because you also don't want to lie. Like what if, it's just not going to help if she's like, doesn't even talk about how to start a successful vlog channel. So that actually needs to be what it is. One of my tips is a lot of times before I interview somebody, I have already determined the title before I start, and I work towards building around that one theme. So when we talk about clarity, friends, you don't just want clarity of your whole channel. You don't just want clarity of your target audience, your value proposition. You want clarity influencing every piece of content that you put out so that it can have the most, just like a laser of how effective it is. Small tweaks like this make a big difference. It's the kind of stuff that you post hundreds of videos on Think International, and then you're like, shoot, I wasn't really doing that right. I wish, where was Think Media and Video Influencers when I was starting? That's my question. Come on, somebody. There was nobody helping, 7 years ago. We're just trying to figure this world out, right? And that's what I've learned, is that sometimes these things are very subtle, but small tweaks lead to giant peaks. And if you make some small changes on some of your content, it can have a big impact. Gwen says, are the bonuses just for those who are here live, or will they be available until Saturday evening for everyone? They will be available till Saturday evening. This exact offer, we want to give everybody a chance, especially because we know our audience is international. People are sleeping, family, prior engagements. Give a few days for people to watch the replay, but then it'll come down. So yes, on the price, on this offer, yes, on the bonuses, but after Saturday night at midnight, price goes up, bonuses go away. And you could still get in, but you do have some time. Jake, when is the time to start affiliate marketing, Amazon Associates, and how produced does your website need to be? Here's the cool thing, Jake, is you can start, especially nowadays, they allow you, here's what they actually been doing lately. They just approve you instantly a lot of times if you fill out everything with good information, but then you need to make a sale as quick as possible. And so or within 30 or 60 days to keep your account active. So I really recommend video product review profits. That goes into some of the best stuff that I know about that. Even if you just grab that program separately, but honestly, the Grow with Video bundles is huge, and that goes into, if you follow video product review profits, that bonus, and you just follow it, it's just kind of funny, but that's the point of me creating courses. Just do it exactly according to the course. You could always change later. You could always but just follow the steps and get the content out there, and you'll make affiliate sales. But all that to say, but if you don't take the course, sign up whenever you want, but sign up once. The more important thing is when you know you can create consistent content. You don't want to sign up, have zero traffic, no videos coming out, be super busy, and then just have your account shut down. You want to be ready to grind and get some traffic going when you do it. Diana, I have a second project in mind. Would you recommend start a new channel or still growing, work on the first one, just focus on one? Diana, I want to encourage you to focus on one and take it from someone who did not really take his own advice very well. And meaning over the years now, I had my Sean Cannell channel. So I spent all this energy and I grew that thing. I had my Clear Vision Media. I talked about freelancing, which is really not a YouTube channel. It's more of a portfolio, but I was working on that thing. And then I did Think International for a while. And I like to say that I had 3 channels because those 3 channels did not ultimately break through and succeed. So I had 3 failed YouTube channels to get to 2 that worked, but then eventually started Think and eventually Video Influencers. Just take it from a tired man. Yeah, right? It's a lot of work. Take it from the amount of energy, again, the power of focus. And here's something that's so important that I want to encourage everybody is, especially when it comes to online, a big mistake that I see a lot of creatives and entrepreneurs, again, we get discouraged. I'm drawing something here. Or we are, if you're entrepreneurial, you probably have tons of ideas. If you're watching this, you're probably an idea machine. You probably are not lacking ideas, honestly. But what you maybe are lacking is discipline and follow through because you always want the new thing. I know I do. That's what I would do. I'd be like, I did this for a while. It kind of worked a little bit. Let me start something else, And I've done that. It's like the story of my life. So we are really vibing if you can relate to that. And so what most entrepreneurs do is this, right? You're starting here And winning, whatever that is, maybe it's money, followers, sustaining, is over here. What most entrepreneurs do is they start building a bridge, and it takes time, it takes energy, and it takes hustle. And they start building this bridge, and they're working on it, and they're like, dude, this is sick. And actually by this time, maybe, see, over here would maybe be being able to quit one of your jobs, or over here would be generating an extra $10,000 a month, or maybe that's full time for you, whatever it is. And so maybe when someone's like this far in, they're like, dude, I'm making like $50 a month, and I'm getting some subscribers. Like, this is happening, but they don't finish the actual bridge. What do? They start another thing. And then someone's like, you should start a second channel, or I have another idea I want to do. So they start doing this. And then what'll happen, right? And maybe those first two are like YouTube, but then someday you jump on some webinar and somebody will be like, dude, audio is everything. If you're not doing audio, then you're missing out. You're going to die if you don't do audio. You should start a podcast, or something like that. So you're like, oh, I'm going to die if I don't start doing audio? Shoot, I don't want to die. So you start doing like a podcast. You get that thing going. And then you're like, and you know what else I want to do is I want to write a book. So I'm going to like get my book out there. And your book is like that far. But then, and let me know in the comments if you can relate to this. But then but then nothing's complete. And maybe even some things are like kind of cool. You feel sort of proud that you got all these projects, but none of them like got there, got set up, got generating. Because here's what I want to argue is that if you get that YouTube channel done, boom, get it to the whole other side so that you got a flow going. And luckily I had a green, because let's get the green for the money, right? Get the money, get like, it's sustained. You can sustain it. You can do it on a consistent basis. You've got some baseline of revenue. Now you could also be smart and be like, you know what I could do? I'm making $500 a month on YouTube, but my husband's still working his job. I'm going to invest that $500 in hiring someone to help me with editing. And now you're going further, faster, and that 500 turns into 1,500. So now maybe by that time you're like, okay, now I really want to start that other channel because at least I'm freed up. This is how those that have predictable, consistent success do it. So then they might start that second channel. And I would argue that maybe we're doing decent at this. We've got video influencers and Think Media. And because I've got that stuff sustained and built in systems, by the way, I'm writing a book, and you start working on other things. What's the point? If you build one bridge at a time, you'll get to your destination quicker, and then you can then move on and build other bridges. I'm super passionate about this because the thing is, a lot of us have to realize that you can do anything, but you can't do everything. Have you heard that before? You can do anything. You could start a podcast. You could start a YouTube channel. You could write a book. You could start an agency. You can do anything, but you can't do everything. But wait. But I would also argue you can do anything, just not all at once. Tony Robbins says most people overestimate what they can accomplish in 1 year, but underestimate what they can accomplish in 10. You've got time. Focus on one thing. Build it out. 1-2 years, build it out. Next couple years, build it out. Next couple years, build out that other thing. In 10 years, you could do it. You could do it all. I mean, maybe not at all, but like you could start an agency. You could write the book. You could start the extra podcast, but you can't do all that in the next 30 days. And you probably can't even do it in the next year. So that's part of the point of Grow the Video, and the point and theme of this masterclass is, come on, we got to be smart. We got to have a smart plan, smart strategies, patience, and do the right steps in the right order over time, predictable interaction with you. And that's where the results are. We can take a couple more questions. I want to welcome Ben, Raina, Scott, and GLK O'More. Thanks so much for jumping in to Grow with Video. Vin Sori asks, we started last month and currently have around 2,400 subs. It's legit. If you just started last month, you're crushing. And about 12,000 view hours. Is that above average? Oh, I didn't even finish the question. That is above average. How do we sustain it? How do we grow above that? Well, if you've grown that much and you've got that much watch time, it sounds like you should just keep doing more of what you're doing. but I've got a video out about momentum. So type in Think Media Momentum, and it's exactly what you should do when you have momentum, and you've got it. So 3 tips for gaining momentum. What this was an answer to a community question about what to do if you have a breakout video. Anybody could watch that's watching this. But again, it's contextually, that video is, once you've got some momentum, here's what to do next. It's not the video to watch if you don't have momentum yet. There's other things to watch. Grow with Video is a good place to start generating some of that. But I hope that helps. Sunshine VK, how do you feel about scripts for videos? If so, what's a good app or strategy to do it right? I'm forgetful and tend to live out good tips that I want to mention. I'd use a teleprompter, but I don't want to come off as fake. So watch that YouTube checklist video, because I think you're right. Teleprompters can be hard. We just used one the other day, but it is still hard. You almost have to practice like just as much to do a teleprompter well. But here's the good news. You need notes. You do need notes, and my notes go on paper, and I paste them under the camera, and I go through linearly. So they're not scripts. It's an outline. And that way I talk to the camera, I share point number 1. And if there's a quote, a tip, if there is something that I do not want to miss, it's on the outline. If I miss something that wasn't on the outline, well, I didn't prepare well enough. And what I do is I take a piece of tape and I tape it under the camera, and I just I'm like, all right, tip number 1 is that, and I hit it, and I look, and I'm like, tip number 2, and then I might say like, note, mention the other playlist. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. And hey, by the way, check out that other playlist. So before I ever press record, I plan out my videos with an outline, loose scripting, and that is about it. Well, hey, friends, this has been awesome. Thanks so much for jamming with us and hanging out. A couple things that we want to hit here is definitely take advantage of the Grow With Video special. Again, as soon as you jump in for the special offer, you'll get instant access to this training, and it's 100% risk-free, right? You could just jump in at joingrowwithvideo.com. And we're also doing a giveaway. Now, by the way, the giveaway is going to end. We're going to pick the winners next week, as in, the 7th, because we do want to give people a chance to enter that. But if you go over to the Instagram, leave a comment with your biggest Grow With Video takeaway, do a story, and then you'll be entered. This will be bonus if you do a story. The bare minimum is just leave a comment on this particular post. And we're going to be giving away 2 30-minute coaching calls with me one-on-one, where we can look over your channel, look over your strategy, talk about your goals, get some personal coaching just with me. If you want to enter that, that is how. Jump in and Grow With Video and at joingrowwithvideo.live. And thanks again for taking the time. Whether it's right, Grow With Video is right for you or not, that's not ultimately my priority here. My priority is to hopefully serve you with valuable information, and also tell you that it means the world to me that you're even here. Like, if you can hear my voice and you're working on your game right now, you're working on YouTube, you could be watching The Office, which I'll probably be watching later, which is all good, right? You watch like whatever. But the fact that you're here and that you have bigger dreams for yourself, for your family, the fact that you're investing in personal development and learning, I know that we have a special connection, because that's really rare. I got a lot of people in my family that as soon as they left high school, they stopped learning. Maybe you do too. But the fact that you're wanting to level up your game, learn tips, learn tactics, aspire for more, dream bigger, reach higher. I just know that we are connected, and I'm just so thankful that you're part of the Think Media community or the video influencers community. And I'm excited because we're going to be doing more trainings like this, of course, more weekly content. And of course, we're going to be doing more stuff inside of our membership areas and courses as well. But we're just on this mission to help as many people as possible take advantage of what's happening right now. It's stunning, right? It's a revolution that's happening online. It's changing people's lives. It's changed mine, and I believe it can change yours. And I believe we can make a big impact and difference in the world while also leveraging online video. So thank you so much for being a part of this community, for spending some time with myself and my team tonight. or today or wherever you are when you're watching this around the world. And I look forward to seeing you in some future content and some future training. And until next time, keep crushing it and keep building your influence, income, and impact with online video. And as always, we will talk soon. Later, guys.